Guess Emails, yet another episode with your host, Jeff.
And Josh.
And Kevin.
Kevin's here again. Woo!
Happy day.
Special guest.
The specialist guest.
Maybe I'm just a guest. I don't know if I'm that special.
You're the only guest we've had. That makes you special.
I guess it's kind of special.
You're the first.
You're vying for that #1 spot.
He's the only one.
He's vying for it. You know what I mean.
Then I think I'm doing pretty good.
He's killed all of his competition. Like a true Klingon.
I feel like we should put our cards on the table and say that most of us need a nap.
Oh, yeah.
I took like a 5-minute nap, which was stupid because that's not a nap.
That's not a nap at all. That's closing your eyes.
I know.
That is an extended blink.
Freaking stupid. Like, what the shit?
I keep setting my alarm too early, and I wake up and then snooze it for an hour and then keep, like, going forward in time, but not getting actually good sleep.
That's the worst.
Snoozing feels like it's going to be a great idea.
It's the worst
But it's not a good idea.
It sucks, dude.
I do it every single day. I set an alarm, too.
God.
I'm an idiot.
Ugh.
Like, I woke up this morning and I got like 4 hours of sleep because reasons.
Because
I don't want to date the show.
The show is dated. We've dated every show we've ever made.
I definitely want to date the show. You guys.
Oh.
Well, I accept.
I also accept. 3-way kiss.
Double date.
Dude.
That's how I kiss.
Sexy.
Let's go on a Dabo date.
Dabo. We are so tired.
Hashtag Dabo.
Hashtag Dabo, all caps.
Hashtag Dabo date.
Dabo date.
Hashtag Dabo Dare 2000.
Shirt it.
Hashtag Dabo Dare starring Mark Ferengi Summers.
That's the quality you're gonna get in this episode, everybody.
You know?
I get it.
Wow.
You get it? Did you get it?
I'm processing it, man.
Our first email of the evening.
Oh, yeah.
It's from Boston Sean Dupree.
Oh, shit. He invented the game that we play.
Yeah, he invented Pitch It or Ditch It.
Oh.
And he says, "Hey Trek dudes, big fan of next-gen uniforms. Don't think much of these colors on the shoulder black for the rest of the uniforms." I agree.
Wrong.
I like the DS9 uniforms.
I like the second ones. They're dope.
I like the gray. We went over this before.
Yeah, this is in the
we
previous
did.
episode.
This is, if you would like to hear our conversation on Starfleet uniforms, please listen to the Deep Space Nine episode, Warrior's Way, or Way of the Warrior.
Tweet at us and I will spend all my time telling you why you're wrong.
I'll just say that I like the thing I like and not back it up because I don't have a good aesthetic vocabulary.
I like what I like.
I will fight you and get gradually more mean-spirited with how I'm wording things until eventually I piss somebody off.
That's why Jeff and I became friends, honestly.
Hey, you may make a better point, but you won't change my mind. That's Twitter, baby.
That's Twitter.
I'm entrenched in my beliefs. I cling to them desperately as an identity, so fuck off.
Why would I ever play Mother 3 if Nintendo didn't release it?
That's why it is we have a show right now.
That is a magma take right there, Joe.
Dude, we fucking went nuts about this.
There was a whole thing. Just fucking play the ROM of it, you idiots. Anyway,
play the ROM. It's free. Play the ROM.
Clear.
Anyway, fun to see
brother.
Worf back in action. I like his braid. He may have had that in Next Gen, but I never noticed it.
Yeah, toward the end he has it.
He sure does. I really like the scene where Worf and O'Brien talk about how Next Generation was really good, but the audience needs to move forward. I feel like
Talk about this.
Yeah. I feel like Star Wars just tried to have a similar conversation with its fans.
Yeah.
Double anyway. Let's pitch it or ditch it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
1. Deep Space Nine Tycoon, the video game. Pitch
Oh my
it.
god. Like, what do you do? Like, make a station?
Yeah,
I would
you have
fucking
to-
play the fuck out of that.
You have to make the station, and then you run it to try and, make it...
Yes.
I guess, it wouldn't be profitable because it's a Starfleet station, but, make it, high-functioning and operational.
Efficient.
Yeah.
I'd play that.
Dude, I don't even play the Tycoon games that much, but I would play the fuck out of that.
It sounds way better than a roller coaster game.
I would want to zoom way in and just play The Sims with the different characters.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, I'd do that too.
I feel
Hell
like
yeah.
I feel like I haven't played Sims since the first one, but I feel like new Sims is crazy enough that you could just make Deep Space Nine.
Can you make a
out.
Quark in a new Sims?
I bet there's a mod.
There are mods.
But there's a Ferenginator.
I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this because I'm a little sleepy, but I think my wife had a Ferengi mod.
What?
Or she showed me one. I think she showed me one in the newest Sims.
Your wife's dope.
She's the fucking dopest. I super don't deserve her. No one else talk to her, please.
If you want to get rich on all that mod money, make a Ferengi mod if it doesn't exist for the Sims.
Do it.
Yeah.
Endless
Make one for Skyrim.
Platinum. Ferengi, there definitely is a Ferengi mod for Skyrim. There has to be.
There's a Macho Man mod. There's got to be a Ferengi mod.
I would also pitch this email.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a bold
yes.
idea.
A bold idea.
2, not an actual episode, but a cold opening of Picard walking into Riker's holodeck program. You've already sent this one.
What's this? I don't remember.
Where he says, end program, and then, all the holograms disappear, and, jizz falls out of them.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, he already sent this one.
I wish
Number one.
I wish people could see my face.
Number one. Why have you gone number 3 everywhere?
Is that what that is?
Number 3.
Number 3 is when you jizz. That's number 3.
Going taking a hot number 3.
Listen, I'm not too proud to not pitch it.
I don't remember.
That's a very safe way.
Whatever I said last time that you
I don't
sent this
remember
in.
what I said last time. So, but that one.
3, a cool game where you put discs into cones available for all leading VR equipment. That already exists in Star Trek.
Yeah, so that's the game, right? That's the
game, the one that
when they
Riker
get
had.
addicted.
Yep.
I bet he went number 3 in that game too.
That is basically VR, because everyone gets a fucking VR headset. It's like, you gotta try it, man. And I'm like, no.
You gotta put this disc into a cone, Kevin.
Dude, I played the VR on the PlayStation, and my mind exploded a little bit.
Really?
It looked really cool. I was like, oh, this is really cool.
I bet VR Skyrim would be pretty fucking dope.
I was just talking about that today, and how I was saying how, you gotta be in shape, though.
It does exist, VR Skyrim.
Yeah, you gotta be in shape, though, because,
I don't know
you gotta
nothing about
move your
that.
arms.
I'm in A shape.
Everybody saw the photos from MagFest. I'm not rocking in shape body whatsoever. I got years of practice ahead of me.
That's alright, me neither.
I mean, that'd be a good reason to work out, to play more Skyrim.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would just want to live in Skyrim, so, whatever.
I don't think we should allow Josh to get VR Skyrim.
I think you should allow me to do what I want, because I'm an adult.
But we'll lose you forever.
Yeah, I'll be in a better place. I'll be in Skyrim.
I guess I could also go to Skyrim to see you.
I have to come there to visit me, guys.
I mean, I think we should just go LARPing. That way we can eat the sweet rolls. Except I never want to go LARPing because LARPing's terrible.
Yeah,
I've never been LARPing. Have you?
It's a LARP.
I'm going to ditch it because VR is stupid.
I'm pitching it.
It's already in the show, so I don't need to pitch it.
Yeah, it's already there.
4, Quark gets a house band. Hootie and the Blowfish guest star on this week's episode of Deep Space Nine.
That's incredible pitching.
I am absolutely pitching it, especially if they're all dressed as very slight aliens. They all have a little bit of forehead gunkle.
This was key Hootie and the Blowfish time. 1995 was Hootie was king.
Dude, I want Hootie to play a part in the episode as well, and he's a Vulcan.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
I imagine them as kind of a new Blowfish style alien race.
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect. Like they look like little pinheads.
Yeah,
they got
yeah.
like. That'd be amazing.
They're those fish guys from that one episode of TNG where Loaxana shows up, and at the end she's like, "Well, they're terrorists. They can read their minds."
Yeah, I like how she just didn't tell anybody for like the whole episode. She was like,
Why
"Yeah,
are
it
you
wasn't
gonna tell
important."
somebody this?
I will be the third pitch it. I think we're 3 out of 3 for
Fuck yes.
for pitching Hootie and the
And
Blowfish.
we've never been wrong, so do it.
Number 5, Data guest stars in a DS9 episode. He spends the entire episode with Odo in the Hollow Suite playing Sherlock Holmes.
That sounds awesome.
Hyper pitch it.
Hyper pitch it. Although it's sort of he already does kind of have an episode, but he spends time with the Doctor.
I don't want
Bashir?
that.
Yeah.
Well,
That
yeah,
sounds great.
it's the crossover episode where they come on to TNG.
Yeah.
And Dr. Bashir is like, "Hey, I'm a superhuman. I was superhumanly experimented on. Look at my superhuman powers." Like 4 seasons before it's revealed on Deep Space Nine.
They fucking really did something wrong with that. They were like, why did we say that? He said that. He's just feeling very sherry that day.
I guess he thought Data wouldn't tell anybody, but Geordi was there too.
Jordy just is like, huh, what?
I mean, Data didn't tell anyone about, like, he and Tasha are boning, so he's discreet.
No,
He did at her
didn't tell.
funeral. He told everybody. He was like, "Hey, everybody, guess what I did?"
Here is a recording of us having robot sex.
Well, that's what funerals are for.
That's what funerals are for.
Is it, Kevin?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. So everyone can talk about how they boned you when you lived.
Man, I hope at my funeral people are like, one time I boned Josh, it was awesome.
Kevin is not invited to my funeral on grounds that it may incriminate me.
Kevin's invited to my funeral on grounds that I might get to have a cool funeral with my friend.
Dude, that's,
What a great punchline.
that's the price of being a bone criminal.
That's true.
I'm just a dirty bone criminal.
Bone criminal.
I get in, I get out.
Thanks and live long and fuck.
Whoa!
Austin Shaw.
Whoa.
Is that the wait? Is that the thing?
Yeah.
No, that's not what we say. I don't know what we live long and send money, but we haven't said that in a really long time.
Live long and send money. Yeah.
Live long and Josh Burr.
Yeah.
You can say that when I'm dead after my bone funeral.
Just for your bones.
Just,
It's just my skeleton. That'd be awesome.
dude,
He was in a really, really terrible accident.
you die twice. Once when your flesh dies, next when your skeleton dies.
Could you imagine if, like, they were like, "Yeah, we opted for an open casket funeral," and there's just a fucking skeleton?
That would fucking be hilarious. That's so funny to me. Like, how funny is that shit?
How did he
With a
fucking
suit
die?
on?
Oh, he got burned to death. This is all that was left of him. So,
That needs to be like a very serious scene in a superhero movie.
Oh my god.
like,
yes.
Superman dies, and then they go to his funeral, and there's just a skeleton in the casket.
I guess he's not coming back from this one.
And it's just got the glasses on.
Oh wait, I thought you said Superman died.
Oh
This
no,
is Clark Kent's
Kent died
skeleton.
too!
This looks like Clark Kent's skeleton. What the hell?
Fucking Lois reaches in real quick and snatches the glasses off. And you're
Oh,
like,
there he is.
no,
There's
that's
Superman.
Superman. Never mind.
There's Superman. Oh, okay.
Where's Clark? He's late.
Oh my god.
There's a
Anyway.
fake skeleton in the audience wearing Clark Kent's glasses, and they're like, "Oh, there he is."
I'm gonna pitch these funerals idea. They're great.
Our next email is from Yakub,
Yakub
who said, who says, "Dear Jeff and Josh and Kevin,
and Kevin.
You didn't say that.
I am glad
He said
M
it.
Class Podcast is still alive and well. I mean,
Me too.
no dying podcast could get Kevin Cole as a guest.
What?
I should publicly praise Haque more.
Aw.
Hey!
Yeah, Hack's a great game. Everybody should go play it. So on Steam right now, HAQUE.
Thanks, guys.
Great.
HAQUE. It's alive.
Nice.
That's kind of the Crossfire theme.
Y'all get caught up in the
Hack fire.
hack fire!
On to the Trek talk. Compared to The Child, The Way of the Warrior was better structured and less confusing. Even without watching DS9, it quickly became clear what is happening on the station. Everyone is looking for changelings, and the tension is high.
Yes, it is.
My question is, where was that bathhouse scene going? Why is Kira peer pressured into sexual relations? Is this a deeper cut that I'm not aware of?
I think it's just to show how Kira and Dax are different people. Like,
yeah, Dax is all about boning fake people, and Kira only wants to bone real people.
It's not just girl and other girl. Like, they're two very different characters, and I think they kind of wanted to make that clear at the start of this season.
Yeah, I agree with Kevin.
It's also like a much more like sexually enlightened time. It would be like if you're hanging out with your friends, like you all go to a bar, right? You and all your friends go to a bar, and everybody's really excited. And then you give your one friend a beer, and he's like, "Oh no, I would never drink beer." And you're like, "Why did you come to the bar then? What are you?"
Yeah.
Also, it's to show that people actually live on Deep Space Nine. It's not just a flying office building.
There's definitely a lot of that in Deep Space Nine. There's a lot of downtime in Deep Space Nine.
They got a lot of time to fuck holograms.
The fucking space station doesn't move. It has to stay where it is. So like,
dude, that sucks.
Sometimes you just gotta like look at people and see how they live.
Sometimes you gotta fuck hard light. If you haven't already, please talk about the beard collection as a whole. What did you expect to present? What actually came out of it? Was there any episodes you considered but decided against? I enjoyed your pilot's collection summary, so please keep that form for future collections.
I think he's giving us too much credit right now.
I think it like this is definitely the Beards collection is the companion to the pilot's one, because it's like, here's where it started and here's when it really started. Like,
that's a great point, Kevin.
We definitely meant to do that. It wasn't an accident.
Yeah, we totally thought about that because we're smart. And like you just picked up on something that we definitely talked about. Like, it's for sure talked about.
It's actually super true though. Like, our first collection was the beginning of the series, and then our second this is when it actually starts and gets good.
Yeah,
and it never happens on Enterprise or on Voyager, which tells you everything you need to know.
Well, when Janeway grows that beard, it's crazy. You're like, wait, what?
Why didn't anybody grow a beard on Voyager?
I don't think anybody does. I was trying to think of like an Enterprise where there's a beard, and I don't really know if there is one.
There's no beards in TOS either, unless you go to the mirror dimension.
I think
they're still strict about beards.
I think the real beard episode is whatever episode you're like, that's the one where I became a fan. Like,
well, that's the trope, is the growing the beard. It's the opposite of jumping the shark, right?
Yeah,
that's true. We could have expanded upon it, but it was just a little bridge so that we could have people vote on the next collection we're going to be doing, which I think I said at the end of the last episode, but it's going to be the worst episodes collection.
Oh my god!
And we're starting with Spock's brain from the original series.
Oh my god!
So look forward to that.
I feel like with DS9 though, like the show kind of gets good. It gets good at like season 3, probably. When they get the Defiant, the show gets good.
Oh, yeah.
That's the beginning of season 3.
There's like a false beard start though, because he grows the beard before he shaves his head.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, a false beard start.
It's really strange. The whole growing the beard thing is across 2 series, and I just thought that was interesting. That the series both have a dramatic shift towards better writing
I think
after the episode where somebody grows a beard.
I think that's less like, a lot of it's writing, but a lot of it is your actors are finally like comfortable and feel like they have agency in their show.
Right.
And, like, if you let them make decisions like, I think my character would have a beard, like, they kind of feel more comfortable in their role. And like being in a really intense like show, playing a very like not necessarily stiff but like defined character like that, can probably get a little oppressive for actors who feel like they're kind of stuck there, which is why
especially with Star Trek, where like, I mean, back then, and it's similar now with television, but like back then, like, it's completely set based.
Mm-hmm.
You're just on set all day for fucking 10, 12 hours.
Right.
And, like, you could go crazy. Like, you'll go nuts. Like
whatever
it's
you
not-
can do to alleviate that
Yeah.
type of constant pressure of just like
Yeah.
it's all the same shit and I gotta do it.
every day for, like, several months, you're just, like, doing the same thing. Like,
And-
it makes you crazy.
Like Riker's beard was a happy accident. That could be our John Larroquette fun fact of the week on this program.
oh.
Ooh.
Is that Riker, Jonathan Frakes, had gone on a short vacation between seasons of filming, and when he came
Beardopolis.
when he came back, he had a beard, and everyone on set was like, "You're definitely gonna have to shave that off before we start." And he was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm just here for the like dry read through of the first episode or whatever."
Right.
And Gene Roddenberry himself saw Riker with the beard, and he was like, "No, you should keep it because that would be perfect.
onto something.
That'd be perfect for Riker, the rough and tumble
Yeah.
hero." And
Yeah, he's from Alaska. He's like a outdoorsy guy.
Jonathan Frakes was like, "Hey, I don't have to shave. Sweet."
Yeah, it's great.
How-
Not shaving rules.
Yeah, not shaving is fucking awesome.
All of us don't shave, so it's awesome.
Yup.
I mean, I shave my, like, balls
I go full double beard.
downstairs beard.
No, I don't go downstairs beard. That would
You
be
don't do
terrifying.
You don't do lap beard.
I don't do
Lap
lap beard.
I do lap beard in the wintertime because I ain't got time to take care of myself. Fuck that. Too cold.
I trim. I'll trim.
You gotta trim.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
It'll
gotta.
get crazy if you don't trim.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta do it.
I,
yeah.
I trim up and down. Like I do like grow my beard out real crazy, and then I bring it back down because it gets a little bit too much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But when it's short, it's a pain in the ass because my neck starts growing in, and I look like a neck beard.
I do shave my neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have like this trimmer that has a bunch of shit on it, so I
Yeah.
just like do that shit.
That's what I do. I just run a
Yeah.
trimmer over my neck. It's not actually shaved. I actually like when I went to MagFest, I was like, man, I'm not gonna be able to shave the whole time, so I might as well use a razor real quick.
Yeah.
What?
And I realized I hadn't used a razor in like 6 years.
Yeah, it's dude. My face gets so burny.
Oh
from
yeah, dude!
it
Like,
sucks.
I finished my neck and I just had this huge red spot across it, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Damn, that burned the hell out of me!" And suddenly, like out of my pores, little bits of blood started coming
blood.
out.
Yeah, blood comes out.
I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
yeah,
I
razors are
never.
rough.
I never learned how to shave with a razor because when I was an adolescent and my beard was coming in, I had crazy acne and I didn't want to bleed out, so
Oh,
Yeah, it makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
I just did electric razor and I never learned how to use a blade.
I just put leeches on my skin when I was a kid to
Yeah.
get the beard hair off.
Cool.
I bought a katana, and
Yeah.
I did it like the samurais.
Oh, that's awesome.
Jeff, they'd use their wakizashi to shave. What are you?
What? Listen to this guy.
Fuck! Nah, I used straight up katana. I fucking seppuku'd my face every day.
Oh my god.
How honorable.
Our next email is from Justin Siner,
Hey.
who says, "Ahoy, Trek fellows!
Oh, good day, sir.
Good day, Trek fellows!
Trek fellows.
Trek fellows.
I haven't really watched much Star Trek, but recently my friends and I have been watching a ton of stuff on Netflix together, and TNG has been something they've put on a few times.
Yeah, your friends are great. Keep them.
Not long ago, we watched the one where Picard becomes a Borg, and the one where the Tar Man punches Tasha Yar, and she full-on ragdolls to death.
Man, you're hopping all over the place.
No
right now.
doubt. So my question is, which episode in all of the Star Trek universe would you show to someone who knows nothing about the show, and which episode would make the worst entry point to the series? I've got an answer to that one real quick.
Ooh, the worst one is the second episode.
The worst entry point to the series, it's Code of Honor, is the name of that episode. And Garrett Wang, when he was brought on to, when he auditioned to play Harry Kim, he tried to watch Star Trek on TV when it came on, but over a period of 6 months, every time he turned on the TV, it was Code of Honor.
Oh my god, what a nightmare.
So he thought that's what the show was, and he wasn't interested in playing the character until someone showed him a real episode of the show.
Yeah, Code of Honor is horrible. I would say it's nearly should be banned.
I would call it the worst episode in Star Trek history by far.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to your deep dive.
Dude, oh my god.
We have to get to
we
that
gotta
one
watch
after
all
the
this
next
shit.
one, too.
I feel like the episode I'd show people also might be the worst episode to show people.
Oh shit.
What's
I love the drumhead. The drumhead is my favorite.
The Drumhead is a
TNG
fucking
episode.
amazing episode
That's
to show
a great
people.
episode.
And like, I don't know if it super represents TNG well, but I just think it's like one of the best things they do, which is just make it about like politics and people, and it's one of the best courtroom dramas ever written. Like,
Yeah.
That I don't think that's the worst one to show people. Although a certain type of person will hate that
Yes,
episode.
yeah.
It's the
because they
same
don't
type of
like-
person that wouldn't like Star Trek in general, I think.
Yeah, there's who was I talking to the other day, and they're like, "I don't like Star Trek. It's stupid." Oh, it was one of Luke's friends yesterday, and I was like, "Well, you're fucking wrong, and you're an idiot. So get the fuck out."
He's
And then I
right.
punched him in the dick.
He's right, everybody.
Nice.
I don't know. I would probably. Oh god, there's so many on TNG. Oh my god.
For good ones or bad ones.
Good ones to show people like Darmok, Inner Light. Probably I would show the Inner Light.
Darmok could probably. I don't know. Darmok might be frustrating to somebody who doesn't know Star Trek. Because there's a
Yeah.
whole lot of, like, people saying things that you don't understand.
Yeah,
Darmok's
well,
so
I mean,
good though.
It really is. Measure of a Man.
Measure of a
Measure of a
Man
Man.
is, I think, the one I started on. Like that was the.
Oh wow.
I think
the
Measure
first
of a
one I
Man would be a really great one.
That one's also very courtroom drama-y.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Balance of Terror from the original series, I think it'd be a really great
Yeah.
introduction, especially to TOS.
Yeah.
I didn't super love the first episode of TNG. Like, I don't know if I'd ever tell anyone to start there.
Oh no.
No,
No.
I don't think I would
yeah.
have somebody start there either.
Yeah, it's crazy. But you do get Q, and Q's kind of an important part of the show.
I think a real funny one to show people for their first like intro to TNG would be the one where Q takes them back to Robin Hood times.
Oh my god. And you'd be like, that's all they do in this show is go to different either make believe or somewhat not real times.
They only ever go to Robin Hood times.
Yeah.
That's all the whole show is. They go to Robin
Next
Hood times
week,
over and over
Riker is
again.
Robin Hood.
Man, that's a really tough question, though. I feel like those are
There's
all
plenty of
really
bad
solid
ones.
choices. I don't think there's one that's best, though.
Yeah, no. It depends on the person.
Where would you guys start someone on DS9?
Oof.
I don't know. DS9's tough because it's all one story, really.
Yeah,
From beginning to
yeah,
end.
You can't.
Do you have to start someone in TNG for them to appreciate DS9? I think kind of yes.
I think it would be.
I think you'd appreciate it
also
more.
a yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's necessary exactly.
Yeah.
The thing
It's
about
not necessary.
the problem about DS9, like this episode, the one we talked about, the Way of the Warrior, would be a great place to start if it had anything in it about the prophets and their
Yeah.
relationship to Cisco. But that shit would just jump out at you later on in the season, and
It's
you'd
too
be like,
much.
"What?"
It's too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Profits.
You need a slow burn on the space magic.
Yeah, especially for how it ends up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel that's probably the best answer we're gonna be able to give you on that one.
Do you know the theory about how Cisco? Because spoiler alert. Skip to wherever. I don't know. How Cisco is like half prophet, so that's why he gets to punch Q in that one episode.
What?
Oh,
Why is that a
what?
fan theory?
It's a theory because like people, you can't punch Q. He's a Q. But since Cisco's like extra dimensional, like he can get away with it.
I feel like he's like a paladin, you know, like he's infused with like prophet power, and that lets him
Yeah.
punch Q.
Let's him punch Q. I think that he just punches Q and like Q's just like being an idiot and he doesn't
I feel
really
like
care.
Q like takes the punch because he's like so like excited by the fact that a human dared to punch him.
Yeah, I think he's just being a goofball and he's
Yeah.
just like, I'm Q, whatever, I'm a goofball.
He is
you know,
a big goofy.
I'd let I'd let Captain Cisco punch me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't let him punch you. You'd
I would.
take it.
No, you wouldn't take it.
I'd allow it.
I love when he flips out on Garrick and like in the pale moonlight, he just wrecks him.
Yes,
He just
yeah.
unloads on him, and you're like, "Holy shit!
This man's got some demons.
He is crazy mad about this shit."
I actually got like kind of impatient with a friend who kept putting off watching Deep Space Nine, even though they were a
Yeah.
Trek fan. So I just showed them in the pale moonlight, and I was
Yeah,
like,
now you know how I feel, Kevin.
and I was like, deal with it.
Deal with it.
Now you know everything, bitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder if Josh feels that way about Battlestar Galactica.
I do, but not just with you, with lots of people.
I'll watch it.
I'll get there.
I'll get there one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our next email is from Drew Hawks.
Cool
Hi,
name,
Drew.
dude.
That is a cool name. He is multiple Hawks.
Scream!
Hi, Trek boys.
Trek boys!
First time, long time.
Hi, Drew.
I don't really know what sort of questions to ask you for the podcast, but I was watching a Star Trek documentary on Netflix, and it got me wondering, have you guys watched any of the Star Trek documentaries or specials? Any recommendations?
I watched The Captains, which was on Netflix. I don't know if it is. I don't think it is anymore. I try to stay away from them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're always, to me, like a lot of them, like the, what was it, Trekkies or whatever?
Yeah.
Which was a kind of an old documentary. They're all just sort of like, wink, wink, isn't Star Trek silly? And it's like,
There is a
Yeah,
lot of that shit.
yeah.
Like, they play it off like it's some corny relic.
yeah, and it's like, all right, like I get it, nerds and shit. It's like saying like D&D people are nerds. It's like, yeah, you could go that route, I guess. But
What's the one, My Name is Spock? The one that's about
yeah,
the life
yeah.
of Leonard Nimoy? I thought that was good.
I didn't watch it.
I'll check-
I
I'll check
don't
it
know.
I okay.
ahead.
I think
The Captains is like you get like a vanity project for William Shatner.
Yeah.
It's mostly
it's a
about
little-
him. So
I think my problem with most nerd like fandoms is a lack of like a critical view of
Uh-huh.
the fandom. Like it's either this is silly and I'm ashamed of it, or
Right.
or this rules and nothing is wrong with it.
Right.
Like
you can't have. There's no middle ground at all.
Yeah.
anime super has that problem. Like
Oh yeah.
there's no
Well,
no
they
like
should be ashamed.
Oh, I know. I've made fun of anime on the internet, and boy, let me tell you.
there's no like critical body of work for anime. It's just it's anime. What the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is kind of true, but I mean, it'd be nice if someone took like a deeper critical view of it.
I mean, you
Like,
got your Akiras and your like I don't know
The
what
Cowboy
else.
Bebops.
well, like good anime just becomes good TV. Like
Yeah,
Right.
That's true.
Right.
and bad anime just becomes anime.
Yeah.
Well, there-
Anime.
There's that fucking the view of anime. Like when somebody talks about anime, there's not a picture of Akira behind them, and there's not a picture of like fucking Cyborg 009 behind them or whatever.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
what is Devilman Crybaby came out recently. There's not a picture of that behind them. There's a picture of some like kawaii ugu moe girl
Yeah.
with her eyes the size of her fucking head and shit.
With the sweat drops dropping off of her.
Well, that's because like Crunchyroll like tries to make those things, but Crunchyroll is also selling anime. There's no like critical body of anime review that isn't also owned by someone who's selling anime.
That's true.
Yeah, I just with Star Trek they always make it seem like you said, Jeff, like it's like goofy or like they're like out of touch. Like fans of it are just like hopelessly.
Yeah, what a bunch of
nerdy.
fucking weirdos, right?
Yeah,
but they
and it's
have
like-
each other and their thing they love, so that's what
Yeah.
matters. And I'm like, you don't have to call them weirdos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like nobody shows like people going to a convention for like I don't know tools, like a tool convention,
Right.
And go, what a bunch of fucking fanatic weirdos.
Yeah, they love tools so much. What a bunch of weirdos, right?
Like they
I don't
traveled
know.
from all around the United States of America to come to this tool convention. What a bunch of fucking freaks, right? They're just enthusiasts.
Yeah, they just like that stuff.
It kind of became impossible to be like, I'm a nerd. Isn't that brave? Here's my inspiring story after fucking Gamergate happened. Like,
it's been a really rough 10 years.
You know what? Good. I don't want there to be fucking like, I'm a nerd. Listen to my great story. Fuck you.
know.
Everyone's a nerd now. Suck a dick.
Yeah.
It's like, that always frustrated me anyway when people were like, I'm a nerd, deal with it. I'm like, what do you like?
Whoa, slow down. Yeah,
Like, what do you like? Oh, I fucking love Avengers and Doctor Who. Well, you and everyone else on the fucking planet, dude.
Looks like someone shops at Hot Topic.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a thing we always talk about where people like make their entire personality based around a thing they like.
Yeah, it's very middle school.
It drives me nuts. And I mean, that's sort of what those documentaries do quite often. They like point at these people and go, these people have no lives outside of Star Trek. Isn't that great?
Or they're portrayed as like adorably hopeless. Like, oh, look, they're so hopeless. Like,
Yeah, and
like,
I guess the fantasy is like they have solved their personality. They know who they are. And and like it's meant to make you be like, man, I wish I had anything as solid in my life as this person has Star Trek.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I try to avoid. I love documentaries, but anything about Star Wars or Star Trek, like, I don't want to hear what other people have to say about it. Like, it's not that complicated, you know?
Yeah, who would listen to other people talk about their opinions on Star Trek?
Yeah.
Is this mic hot? Are we live?
Hello.
He points
but, like,
out Chaos on the
is-
Bridge as a good one.
What's Chaos on the Bridge?
What is that?
Oh, it's a doc. It was on Netflix for a long time. It's how TNG got up and running, like how they went from Phase 2 to TNG, and how it's honestly, if I had to characterize it, it's a documentary about how Gene Roddenberry lost his mind and became a giant asshole and then died.
Yeah. That's cool.
Jesus.
That's how I want to go. I'm almost there.
Just briefly flitting back to our last tangent.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
It is totally good and cool, important if you like something. Like we're not being like
Absolutely.
It's lame to love a thing. Like
No, that's exactly not what
No,
we're saying.
it's not what I'm saying. Like I said, it's like basing yourself entirely on that thing and not having a personality outside of it that the problem comes in.
Like the things you like, but keep in mind that there will be other things that you might like too, and try to incorporate them all into a super fun version of yourself that likes things.
in general, every person should like 2.5 things.
Like 2.5 Men, I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah. Everyone should like 2.5
This
men.
podcast is over.
Do you guys remember Charlie Sheen?
I'm gonna go watch 2.5 Men.
Oh my god, he says things that I wish I could say.
I don't even have a joke for 2.5 Men. I literally couldn't tell you one fact about it.
I don't think I've ever seen one episode of 2.5 Men.
Like, my dad liked 2.5 Men, which is the weirdest shit, because he would go from MASH to 2.5 Men and like one flip of the thing and be fine with it.
Wow, that's a gear change right there.
Yeah, no doubt. But I'll tell you, it's mostly about an alcoholic piece of shit who treats women like garbage, and a guy who is straight, but the joke is that he acts gay, and a fat kid.
Yeah, he's like sort of homosexual, and it's like, but like he could just be gay. Like, I don't care. Like, what's the?
It's the joke that he acts gay. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Why would you make this show?
It was a different time, Kevin.
It was a different time called they're still making shows like that.
Yeah, I feel like that's like what the new Will and Grace is like. It's like, yeah, being gay is like not a thing that's like exploitable for views anymore. Like, I don't know, like what, like,
My wife
like,
loved Will and Grace, right? And then we watched the new one, and it's almost entirely political humor about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And like the one alcoholic lady is like a Donald Trump supporter, and that's the big joke.
Because she's rich.
Yeah,
Right?
that's the big joke. And I was like, I don't want to see jokes about this. This is reality.
Yeah, I have to live this every day.
Yeah,
It's
like
horrible.
our world is burning down. This is not comedy hour.
Yeah, I don't want to watch this. Yeah.
But I hear the Nick Offerman episode is kind of good.
I don't
Well,
know.
he's married to what's her name,
Yeah.
the lady.
I didn't see that.
Karen on the show, I forget her.
Yeah,
I didn't
her
see
real
that
name.
shit.
She has a cool real name. I just forget what it is, and they're both really cool. But like,
Yeah, they're funny.
maybe I'm with you, Jeff. I kind of don't want to laugh about it yet.
No, maybe like 20 years from now I'll laugh
Let's-
about
I don't
it.
think it'll ever be funny.
Yeah, let's see if there's a nuclear like annihilation of the human race, and then we'll laugh.
Well,
I was
then at
talking
least
to-
Ephraim Cochran's gonna fly his phoenix.
I hope so. I was talking to somebody the other day. People are gonna like open up history books about this time in history and be like, "What the fuck was wrong with these people?"
2 words: baby boomers.
Yeah,
There was a lot of lead. Okay,
a lot of
They're
lead
trying
paint.
to make MAGA. They're trying to MAGA us back into where we should be, guys.
Anyways, thanks for continuing with the M Class podcast. Do people think that we stopped doing this?
I have no idea.
It helped me reconnect with Star Trek after marathoning Voyager and Enterprise with my dad when I was a kid.
Aw.
We had a whole wall shelf of Star Trek videos that we only recently got rid of. It was wild.
Nice.
That's awesome that you and your dad
That sounds
watched it
great.
together. That's really cool. I still have a soft spot for Faith of the Heart, probably because I had to endure listening to it so many times as there was no option to skip the intro.
There's a faith of the heart.
It's been a long time.
Since I heard this dope ass song.
Our next email
ooh,
is from Tosh, who says,
Uh-oh.
"Hey,
Wait,
how's
Tosh?
it going? What's new?"
Hi. Nothing.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
thanks,
Anywho,
man.
I don't watch Star Trek. I've seen some movies, but that's about it.
Cool.
Question: if every main captain from every series had to fight to the death, and they all had the same weapons at their disposal, same ship, same amount of lasers, etc.,
Oh boy.
who would come out on top? No
Cisco.
peace, only blood. No screams,
peace.
though, because they're in space.
Easy, Cisco, done.
Yeah, Cisco is like, that's what he was born to do. He's like a warrior.
Yeah.
Like,
You would
he's a fighter.
you would not see Cisco until like every other captain had been eliminated, and then he would come out of nowhere and blow up the last remaining guy, Picard.
Dude, without Cisco, the Federation loses. Like,
Yeah,
that's
I
how
don't
good
know.
he is.
I'm like, I agree Cisco would win, but Picard would not be the last guy. Like,
No, he
Picard,
wouldn't.
Picard is a diplomat. He's an alright fighter, but he's a diplomat. This ain't movie Picard where he's swinging around like John McClane.
Yeah.
Like,
does do
Kirk
that,
would
though.
double axe fist his ass and he'd be down.
Damn.
Oh, I thought this was a ship-to-ship battle.
Yes it is.
Okay.
He would do the ship double axe fist maneuver.
Like, he would use the nacelles to do a double axe fist on the other
like-
ship.
I like the image of it's the Enterprise with like 2 beefy Trogdor arms on it.
yeah, like slamming down.
Yeah.
That's some like nose art for like a fucking, you know, like an airplane from the World War II era.
It'd be a bomber plane for sure.
Yeah. B-17.
Fuck. Yeah, Cisco would win, but that's just, he's like the war captain.
Yeah.
Dude, the scrapper.
He's the only one who like was, I mean, I guess literally he's born for it, right? Like that's just part
Yeah.
of his destiny, so.
Spoilers of fucking hoy in this episode.
Hey, just watch the show.
Spoilers!
He's fucking writing it. He's not gonna kill himself off.
That's true!
Oh my
Real
God.
spoilers!
Crazy spoilers. It just probably
I
confused
love
the
how,
shit
that, I
out
love
of
how that
everybody.
shit comes back in the last episode.
Yeah,
It's great.
It's fucking
yeah.
amazing.
Benny, put the pencil down. Put the pencil down, Benny.
Our next email is from David, aka Spivsy,
Spivsy.
who says, "Hey Turag boys!
Boys.
Long-time listener, 3rd or 4th time writer to all the podcasts Josh has been on.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
It's great hearing views on Star Trek from people who've loved it for years. I never watched any of the TV shows until I was about 25 years old, but I did go see the crap movie. You know which one I mean.
You know, we do know which one you mean.
all
I got
of the
your
new
gun.
ones. So I don't have the same nostalgia for it, but I get to live vicariously through you two.
Oh, sweet.
Oh. I might be a newer fan of the series, but it hasn't stopped me from constantly asking my friends how many lights there are and making jokes about Picard leaving Data on a planet, saying he's not our problem anymore, and flying away. I've got a pitch it or ditch it for you.
Yes!
The Enterprise comes across a perfectly serviceable ship many years old that isn't registering any life signs on board, and nobody is answering their hails.
Okay.
They send an away team on board and find it staffed entirely by characters from history, both fictional and non-fictional.
Evil Lincoln!
Evil Lincoln. Plato is captaining the ship. Ebenezer Scrooge is the science officer.
Oh man, this sounds like a crazy holodeck.
JFK is
situation.
working in the engine room, etc.
I need more power.
It turns out the crew was a race of formless masses who came across a derelict vessel, found the crew's information alongside cultural records, and merged the two of them together, resulting in historical figures with knowledge of starships. The crew of the Enterprise wish them well on their journey, but get a big surprise when Lieutenant Count Dracula sneaks on board, finally able to quench his bloodthirst.
Oh my god.
This is so TOS it hurts.
I love this.
I was like, no, then yes, then no, then hell yes.
Hell
Yeah,
yes.
I was like full blown. You said Dracula, and I was like, okay, yeah.
I am
I'm
on
in.
board.
I think we could just have a plot be Dracula is on board the Enterprise. Like that could cover an entire
man.
episode.
Oh my god. You kind of get that with Sam Clemens. Ow, Miss Guinan!
But is he regular Dracula, like the historical character, or is he like a completely unrelated alien guy who just looks and acts like Dracula for no reason? That's my favorite
so-
Star Trek thing.
Is he Vlad the Impaler Dracula, or is he Dracula like Bela Lugosi
I
Dracula?
want him
I
to be
pictured-
Bela Lugosi Dracula.
I pictured like Bram Stoker's Dracula, like
Yeah.
Bela Lugosi,
like
yeah.
Yeah, like a Dracula.
like a Dracula.
I want him to be a space alien, right? And
Yeah.
but he just looks exactly like he's from a race of Draculas. Like the whole planet is
He's from
Draculas.
Planet Dracula.
They kind of have that with the Nakul. They're kind of Dracula-like.
But do they all dress like Bela Lugosi?
Well, they dress like Nazis because they go back in time and try to take over the world.
Ew.
Ew.
So Nazis are like real-life Draculas.
I mean, I guess
Way easier to kill.
yeah, thankfully.
not that we're saying that you should kill Nazis, but we're also not saying
I'm
that
totally
you shouldn't.
saying you should kill Nazis. You should just kill
Way to
them.
ruin my joke, Josh.
I think we're
I'm not skirting around this. I'm going full-blown Indiana Jones. Just shoot them.
kill all Nazis.
I was getting to that, everyone. I was getting to it. It was going to be a big fun joke,
Sure
and
did.
everyone would have loved it, but I guess we're not.
Everyone would have.
We're not doing jokes on the podcast anymore.
No, not
Sure
today.
did. Just Helvetica font, kill all Nazis
Kill
on
all
the last
Nazis.
podcast.
Not even Helvetica. I'm just going to put it in fucking Arial right across it. Kill all
Arial.
Nazis, all lowercase, with a period.
Get that kerning right.
Reading that back, it might be a little bit too Red Dwarf, so just to be safe, you should make another podcast about Red Dwarf.
I never watched Red Dwarf.
It's actually
It's-
really good.
I heard it was good.
It's very like something that is very late '90s funny.
Yeah, I remember when it was on. Like
It's
it was on
very,
Sci-Fi.
very British as well.
Yeah.
If
Dude,
you like,
Red Dwarf. Oh my god.
if you like the IT crowd, I feel like there's a similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I got you.
I love the IT crowd because I'm on it. Like, Roy is just me. Every time I watch that show, I'm like, fuck, that's exactly what I would do.
I saw the one where they go to like the theater or something, and then the guy starts selling. He's like a bartender there or something. I don't remember.
I'm definitely the goth guy.
Definitely.
I think his name's Kevin. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
I don't know.
In
Did
the
you guys watch The Detectorists?
No, what the fuck is that?
That's a good show. It's British. You should watch it. It's
guys-
about guys who join a metal detector club.
It sounds pretty fucking amazing so far.
It's really good.
Has
It's
it got
really good.
Dracula in it?
Unfortunately, no.
Fuck.
Not like
The
this
IT
episode,
crowd
which I'm
has-
pitching.
I'd pitch it as well, and the IT crowd has Dracula in it, so
What?
Yep.
he lives in the basement.
Yeah,
No
he's great.
way.
In the words of that truck decal I saw online with a hot Andorian on it, keep on trekking.
Oh shit.
Love and kisses,
Damn.
David Spivsy.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Spivsy.
Bibsy.
All Spivsy.
Old Spivsy.
Our next question is from Ben Bueller,
Bueller.
aka
Bueller.
Desrath,
Whoa.
which is definitely the name of a planet conqueror.
Desrath the Destroyer.
Desrath the Destroyer, exactly. Hail Trek Boys!
Hell.
Trek boys.
That was like the little guy from Mortal Kombat that pops in and goes, Toasty!
Toasty.
Trek Boys!
That's how you fight
boys.
Reptile, dude. You gotta hit some buttons and then Reptile shows up. Reptile wins.
Reptile was fucking awesome. He's just green scorpion, but it's really cool.
Dude, I got so hype as fuck when he shows up in the movie. I was like,
I
oh,
did too. I was like, fuck, they unlocked him!
they got him!
Okay, Ben says, first off, keep up the good work with the podcast. Thank you.
Aw.
Thanks to your influences, I am now working my way through TOS for the first time, although I did almost stop after the psychic powers face in Charlie X. I'm loving it.
Oh my god, Charlie X. Oh my god.
Charlie X, he like does this like horrible jizzing face every time he uses his psychic power.
He's the one, right, who is like, I like this ensign. I'm gonna stalk the shit out of her.
That's one of like the defining moments that like I always whip out when people are like, Kirk's a fucking womanizer who doesn't
Yeah,
care
'cause
about
he-
women.
He brings him to his quarters. He's like, look, Charlie, you can't do this. He's like, stop hitting on girls like this.
He's like, Charlie's like, what if she doesn't like me? And he's like, well, too fucking bad, kid.
Yeah,
That's how
the way
it works.
man. Lots of people don't like you.
I don't.
I hate Charlie X.
That's life, man.
He's like,
Yeah.
you have to be kind, you know. And if she doesn't want you, then she doesn't. There are other fish in the sea, you know. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to move on. And Charlie X is like, no, I want her. And he's like, fuck.
Yeah, man.
hate
the 60s
you.
were a rough time.
Kirk's a good dude, man. He gets a bad rep. Anyway, I'm not going to
He
go
does
into
get
all
a
that
bad
shit again. Second off, a recent commission I got from Jeff. Insert plug for Jeff's commissions here.
Oh,
Buy
shit.
it.
Nice.
Yeah, go to my Twitter, @_Jeff Pennington.
Buy
and-
it, Jeff.
And see my commission chart. I'll draw you pictures. It made me realize something. I don't recall in any of the Trek I've seen so far reference to media, be it news organizations, new movies, or whatever the Star Trek equivalent of TV would be, or social media.
They don't have TV.
I realize they have hologram technology now, but holodeck/suite programs seem to be the dominant media form. I have a hard time
Yeah.
imagining interactive holograms supplanting all other media.
I mean, it makes perfect sense. Like, it would be... Well, except books. They still read books.
Well, and Jake Sisko is a journalist.
Yeah,
So, like,
journalism
they have
still
newspapers.
exists. There's a Jake talks about wanting to be part of like the Starfleet news
Media
service.
Corps.
Yeah.
And
There's also he talks about the civilian media corps as
Yeah.
well.
Well, that's very World War II.
Yeah.
That's during World War II. A lot of directors, like John Ford, signed up and they went over and just shot the war.
Yeah.
So that's very World War II inspired.
Yeah, he talks.
guess-
He talks about like there's still newspapers in the future, which is the
Yeah.
most unrealistic part of Star Trek, really.
Well, I mean, we saw like how important they are now. So.
well, I mean, they're post scarcity, so like you can just make a newspaper if your live stream is to do newspapers.
That's true.
Everyone's just making zines.
Making all them signs.
Zines.
Dude, I fucking love reading a magazine.
A magazine. You guys into zines?
God, I just see you like slipping in like Steve Buscemi wearing like the backwards cap with the skateboard, being like,
Hello, fellow kids.
What's up, fellow kids? Do you read the zines?
And then Blink-182 plays.
I guess like all art in in Federation space is like intensely personal because like you don't have to look for an audience. Like
No.
But at the same time, it's like super. It's like how we're seeing it now, right? We're seeing it with the internet now. Like, there's so much of it, but like it's not centralized like media
Right.
used to be.
right,
It's
there's
just
no the
decentralized.
Beatles of the
Right.
Federation. Like,
Exactly.
doesn't make sense. That's not how
No.
art works.
That's
Yeah,
that's the
that's how it
greatest
works.
thing about the Federation to me. Like people talk about like being like Starfleet would be amazing. You know, I'd love to join Starfleet and everything, but if I couldn't make it, you can do whatever you want for a career.
Yeah,
and that's
we talked about
that's
just
the thing
chilling
that,
out
like,
on Ryza.
That's the thing that like motivates people in the future isn't like, oh, I need to fucking make the bills or whatever. It's what can I do to feel fulfilled and live a
Right.
good life.
And there's that
Yeah.
whole bit in DS9 where Jake's trying to borrow money from Nog.
Nog.
Nog, yeah.
Yeah, and
That's great.
it's like and he's like, well, Federation citizens don't need money. And then Nog says, well, if you don't need money, then you don't need my
Why
money.
do you need my money? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, it's not my fault your society adopted he says like
post-scarcity or post-currency?
he says like the line, yeah, he's like a philosophy of like self-improvement or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Jake says, look, we aim to better ourselves and the rest of humanity, which is like the line they always use.
yeah.
It's
So give me $5.
The most it's like the most beautiful future to me that like you just once you finish your regular schooling you're like, all right, what do I want to do with my life? And you can do it. If you're like, I want to be a fucking rocket scientist now, you like just go to rocket science school and be like, hey, I want to be a rocket scientist, and they're like, well, sit your happy ass down, we're gonna learn about
we'll
rocket
teach you how to
science.
do it. Yeah, maybe
But-
you'll be good at it.
But on the flip side, Ferengi don't start no wars.
That's true, they don't, but they do buy their way out of them.
Horse shit. That's DS9 switcheroo. The Ferengi don't start no wars.
The
Like,
Ferengi are, yeah, they're super aggressive.
like in
TNG.
TNG, they start wars all the fucking time.
Well, those
they're
are
just
pirates,
assholes.
right? They're not like
No, they're wearing Ferengi military uniforms.
Sometimes they're pirates. Sometimes the Ferengi government disavows any knowledge, which
Well,
is bullshit.
that's
I
how
mean,
the
the-
Ferengi start no wars. Technically, is that anytime a
Yeah.
Ferengi does something shitty, like Zach
Plausible
Grand Nagus is just
deniability.
like, they weren't with us.
Quark! Quark!
inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
I fucking
Miss Guinan!
I love Grand Nagus so much.
I fucking love him too. He's so good.
I guess my question is, does everyone just get their information from Starfleet, or are there news organizations that exist off-screen that we don't see because the series
Yeah.
are all portrayed from the perspective of Starfleet crews?
Think about it like now. Like, where do you get your news now? You get it from everywhere. There's tons of shit. It would be the same thing. But everything's just hyper
Well, yeah,
faster.
like Jake mentions there being civilian news organizations that he can
Yeah.
become a reporter for if he wants to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there are journals of science like that
And-
people publish shit to.
There are
One thing
newspapers. There's a newspaper on Earth when Cisco's there. It's sitting on his desk.
It's
Yeah.
just like they're not going to do an episode where Picard reads a blog. Like
yeah, it'd be boring. And the one thing that Starfleet or Federation citizens are very like keen on is like the preservation of their democracy.
Oh, yeah.
So like obviously there would be that fourth pillar of civilian check and balance in the system, which is needed.
Yeah.
Even in Star Trek, because we see what happens when like, oh, you know, the fucking changelings start invading. People
guess-
start losing their shit.
I guess like the real reason is like during the 90s, like it wasn't really a question that the news was important, and
Everybody knew already.
yeah,
Yeah.
and there wasn't really just a crazy, narcissist megalomaniac in our president office.
What could you be talking about right now?
We're talking about the Star Trek future right now, everyone. I don't want to think about that monster right now in our fun Star Trek discussion.
Quark!
So yeah, it wasn't even going to be like it wasn't even going to be an interesting plot line to be like, do we need the news?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah, people would have been
Everybody,
like, "Yeah,
of course we
what are
do.
you talking about?"
Fucking
Yeah.
Walter Cronkite, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, what are you talking about? That's what they would have said.
I mean, that'd be an interesting thing for new Star Trek to look at.
Have you
Anything would be more interesting than whatever they're doing
have
with
you
the
guys
two-dick Klingons.
you guys read about any of the spoilers in that show?
No, I know nothing about it.
I watched the first 5 episodes, so I don't know.
There's like some shit happening right now. I guess I'll tell you guys about later. But
oh my god,
I've heard nothing about it, so I just assume it's amazing.
it's 10 out of 10 good.
Ignorance is bliss.
Related, here's a Boston Sean's Pitch It or Ditch It.
Nice.
To improve morale during the Dominion War, Captain Sisko instructs O'Brien to work with Quark and Rom to set up a DS9 closed-circuit hollow news program with Jake and Nog as anchors.
Oh my god.
Trouble arises when Editor-in-Chief Garrick keeps editing Jake and Nog's segments down to practically nothing for fear that the information in their program might be usable by Dominion spies aboard DS9.
I love how Garrick is in charge of a high school TV show.
I love that. I love
I
that.
think that's basically what Kevin was just talking about doing a Star Trek episode about whether the news is important or not.
Yeah, you could do
reflecting the whole fake news shit that's happening today.
Well, they talk about it with Jake and the Dominion when he's on DS9, and
They come down on the wrong side of that a little bit, actually. Like the Federation does. Where like everybody on DS9 is like, Jake, you're a fucking prick, sending all this information out.
Oh yeah, well he's it's sort of that tightrope though of like, oh, this could fuck people up,
Yeah,
right? Like,
you have to be careful about what you print.
Yeah.
But
you can't do that.
I've got to run because I'm late to DM a D&D session. But keep trekking and whatnot.
A DM is never late.
He arrives always on time whenever he wants or whatever.
He always arrives exactly when he intends to.
He always arrives when I show up. That's what I always say.
Hashtag Jeff Hadar. Hashtag Zane Tenu Army.
Oh wow! We got a Zane Tenu Army.
Hell
wow.
yeah.
Fucking Jeff Hadar. What?
Well, I guess Zane is on the show now. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, we never said if we're gonna pitch it or ditch it. I think I would ditch it.
I would probably. I don't know. It's a funny concept, but I don't think it could make a very good episode.
Not on DS9. I don't know.
I'll pitch it. We could workshop it into a B plot.
Yeah, if you
can workshop it.
I will pitch it for workshopping because if it wasn't like a high school production with like Jake and Nog kind of thing, and Jake was like trying to be taken seriously,
could have been good.
And like maybe Odo is the one that keeps censoring the program because he doesn't want the information to get out.
Yeah.
I think you could also do a fun thing where like Quark keeps like trying to take up more and more airtime with ad space. Like he's monetizing it too hard.
I love when he like hacks the computer and it starts printing out mugs and shit. And he turns the mug over and it plays "Go to Quarks, Quarks is fun," and it plays that little jingle. Don't walk, run.
Yeah. If it was that, pitch it.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Boston Sean sent another email, and I'm gonna like take a quick snippet because I like this one. He did a pitch it or ditch it of Tom Paris convinces the crew to go to a 90s style prom where they dance the traditional Bartman.
Oh my god, it's like Romeo and Michelle. Everybody do the Bartman. Oh my god.
Hard ditch.
Yes. Hard pitch.
Super hard pitch.
No, he's got to dance with Balana to "All My Life I Pray for Someone Like You."
Oh my god.
The most 90s jam
gotta
of
be
all
some
time.
Savage Garden, right? Like they gotta dance to Savage Garden.
Is Wheatus gonna play the show?
I knew I loved you before I met you.
Oh my god. Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Yeesh.
That's it. That's all I wanted to read out of that one. Our next email is from Phil, who we know as Philossus.
Oh yeah, Philossus.
Cool.
He's a good dude. He says, Trek Boys!
Trek Boys.
Hey guys, since I've gotten a little deeper into Star Trek TOS, I figured I'd bring up some things I found interesting for discussion.
How
interesting.
Oh God, how synchronized.
We've been hanging out with each other a lot.
One, Balance of Terror is an amazing episode. Who fucking said it? Who dat?
You did. You said it.
Was it Jeff?
It was Jeff.
I guess
Jeff
Jeff.
said it.
And
I guess it was Jeff.
I love how it builds on the lore of the universal status quo, as well as highlighting just how great a captain Kirk really is.
How
Nice.
great.
We get to watch both Kirk and the Romulan captain struggle within themselves to do what they feel is right for their people and their individual missions, and I think it's masterfully done.
It's great.
It might be my favorite episode so far.
Nice.
And he included a sick bones quote, all capital.
Nice.
Yes.
Something I seldom say to a customer, Jim. In this galaxy, there's a mathematical probability of 3 million Earth-type planets. And in all the universe, 3 million galaxies like this. And in all of that, and perhaps more, only one of each of us. Don't destroy the one named Kirk.
Wow. That's a great quote.
That would be. I'm just imagining that with a light Scottish.
What? It's Bones said it. Scotty
Oh, it's
didn't say
Bones?
it.
Oh, I thought it was. All right, I'm.
No, Scotty would be like, I'm Scotty.
Well, I want Scotty to say
God,
it.
that was dead on.
It'd be a good quote if Scotty said it.
It's a bad quote because Bones said it.
Listen.
I love Bones.
I do too.
Listen.
Nobody got any sleep last night. By the way.
Yep.
You don't ask the Almighty for an ID.
Excuse me, what does God need with a starship?
What does God need with a starship?
With a starship? You didn't answer my question.
You don't ask the Almighty for an ID, Jim.
Oh, that's really good. That's a really good, like,
That's a real
What's
good
his name?
Scotty.
that's a real good check-off you got going there.
You know what? Fuck everybody. Two, in the episode Shore Leave, the crew comes in contact with a being who describes himself as the caretaker of the planet and seems to have nigh limitless powers to fulfill the crew's every thought or desire. I was wondering if you had any insider thoughts about these aliens possibly being the prototypes for the caretakers that we see in the later series, Voyager.
They probably like the name. I don't. I'm
It seems
not
to have the
sure.
same function, even for the most part. It like takes care of the beings on the planet
Yeah.
from afar.
Yeah.
There's another
maybe.
one like that. There's a character in TOS that's basically a Q.
Yeah, they did.
Like he's like an omnipotent being that can do literally anything, and he tests the crew of the Enterprise to prove if they're worthy or not to be out in space.
Yeah.
And he has all the same abilities as Q.
Maybe he's like a you.
Maybe he's you.
You. Maybe he's us.
I feel
the
like
audience.
a lot of stuff in later Trek is like them watching TOS and being like, I can do that better.
I could do that better. Yeah.
And sometimes they're right, and sometimes they're very, very wrong.
Yeah, agreed. Most of the time they're pretty good about it.
3, Space Seed blew my mind.
Fuck yeah.
I had no idea that Khan was something they set up before the movie, let alone so early in the series.
Oh yeah.
I also didn't know anything about Khan as a character besides what I'd seen in Into Darkness, which was very
Oh
little.
my god.
Hey, Sam.
And now seeing
Oh
Khan's
my God.
origin gave me a new respect for the character and less respect for how well he was portrayed by JJ.
He's a trash character. J.J. Abrams. All right, sorry.
You mean
We're
JJ
gonna go-
Abrams is a trash character?
We're gonna go on a rant. Yeah, no. JJ was more concerned with. Isn't it interesting how I did this like turn? Oh man, I'm so clever. And it's like, no, everyone knew it was gonna be fucking Khan. Everybody fucking knew it was gonna be Khan.
The only people who didn't know it was going to be Khan were people like me who were like, man, they definitely won't do that because it's so fucking stupid, right?
Dude, I asked Luke when we were at Game Origin. I was like, it's Khan, and Luke was like, no, it's not. And I said, I will bet you $100 it's Khan. And it was fucking Khan.
Like, it would've-
Where's my $100?
It would have been a lot better and made a much more interesting movie if they would have not time skipped for no reason.
Oh my god,
And
that movie is such
they time
shit.
skip it after every movie for no reason because it's been time since the last movie, right?
So dumb.
But fucking, it should have been the guy from the fucking episode of Star Trek where he's got the gold eyes. He's got the fucking silver eyes from Where No Man Has Gone Before.
Oh yeah.
That would have been a great story to do, but instead,
Yeah.
it's Khan because everybody knows him. Remember Khan?
gotta sell tickets. People don't like Star Trek because it's boring, so we gotta make it better for them.
In a universe full of beings that can create and destroy on a whim, it's really refreshing to see a villain / foil who is far more grounded, even if he is a Red Skull-ass supervillain. How do you two feel about Khan, and where would he fall in your rankings of Star Trek villains?
He's up there. For
He
me.
definitely...
I mean,
I fucking love Khan.
he's great. Yeah,
Like,
he's
if
great.
Kirk had an arch nemesis, it would be Khan.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Picard's is the Borg.
yeah,
Kirk's
and
is Khan.
they feel like that's not solid enough, so they make the Borg queen.
Yeah, they kind of give like the Queen some shit. I don't mind the
I
Queen
don't
so
like
much.
the idea of the queen. I feel like that takes away from the Borg a little bit.
I think it makes him more creepy because it's like, well, what the fuck is she doing? Like, what is she? And she never dies. Like, she just never dies.
Yeah, she comes back in Voyager.
She's like crazy hard to kill.
So what's Khan's deal? Like, what is he?
Khan is from a time period on Earth where experimentation was being done on humans very heavily. So basically, this like race of superhumans were created,
Okay.
and they basically all went to war with each other. First, they like took over the areas where they were at. Like they banded together and took over countries,
Yeah.
and then they waged war on each other and basically like decimated the planet. And it took, like, everything normal humans had to defeat them, and they were just sealed away. And
So that's
Khan was like, the guy who... He's, like, the Alexander the Great of these superhumans.
So that's why everyone's freaked out by Bashir,
Yes.
because
It's super illegal to be
Oh, yeah.
genetically
It is
modified.
absolutely super illegal, because the last time it happened, the world
went
was
bad.
decimated.
Yeah.
And,
interesting note.
like, it's...
Interesting if true.
Khan is basically like if you like found a pod that had a frozen guy in it in the middle of like the desert, right? And you unthawed him and brought him back, and he just seemed like this really cool, amicable guy. But the longer you were around him, it slowly dawned on you that this man was Hitler.
Yeah.
That's what
Okay.
Space Seed is.
I mean, I
okay.
think we've all found a desert Hitler, so...
I mean,
So it's like hanging out with your grandparents, and for a second you're like, we have some stuff in common, but then
But then they
But
say
then
a
the
word
Hitler
that you
comes
thought
out.
people didn't say anymore.
Yeah.
Now that I've gotten my Chris Farley show portion of the email out of the way, I don't get that reference, but I know who Chris Farley is.
Do you remember? Remember, it's a SNL sketch when he interviews like Paul McCartney. He's like, "Do you remember when you said that the love you take is equal to the love you make?"
That was so great.
And he's like, "Yeah, I remember that."
God damn, I forgot about that. I'm gonna have to look up some clips
that's
of that
really
up.
that's a fucking smart joke right there.
Since you guys have seen most of Star Trek as a whole, are there any things you enjoy from other science fiction that you would like to see explored more in Star Trek? I'm sure a lot of people who don't want their space chocolate to get in their space peanut butter, but I was curious what, if anything, you boys would like to see in Discovery or any future Trek movies or series iterations from other sci-fi. Thank you for all
I
the
want
laughs
Star
and
Trek
insight.
to. Oh, sorry. Thank you for the email. I just want Star Trek to be good.
Yeah, I wanted to
yeah.
comment on shit we're going through right now again.
Yeah, it's like ripe. Star Trek is like perfect for right now, and that it's being wasted on like a bunch of dumb shooty action bullshit is like really criminal.
They went to the mirror universe. That's where things are now.
Yeah, they're in the fucking mirror universe or whatever.
Remember,
Like,
remember that?
everyone loves the mirror universe. Ugh.
I don't like other than like I want to see I just want to like see stuff that's happening now through the lens of Star Trek. Like I don't really know what I'd mash it up with. Like I just want my sci-fi to be smart. That's the only thing I
Yeah.
want.
I agree.
Entertain me.
I agree with both of you. If I could take something from other sci-fi that doesn't get explored much in Star Trek, it would be Earth. I want to see how Earth operates and like what life is like for someone on Earth. We don't really see that ever, for the most part.
Yeah, the only good. I'm gonna be very kind right now. The only good part about like JJ Trek is like you see some parts of Earth, even though like what he does with it makes no sense.
It's Coruscant. He
It's
makes
Coruscant,
Earth into Coruscant or Coruscant, depending on who you ask.
Coruscant. Yeah, like why are they building a spaceship on Earth? Why would you do that? Just build it in space.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
a spaceship.
I don't fucking know. So it could be a Vista. He loves his fucking Vistas, right?
He loves when a character looks at a thing because he doesn't know how to write. So he's like, well, now he's going to look at it. Oh, it's so cool.
Why does it matter when you build anything anywhere if you can just like teleport it? You know?
You can't teleport a fucking ship. Get out of here.
You crazy, Kevin?
What if you just teleported a bunch of pieces of the ship?
That's what they do.
What? Why? Then why don't you just build it where it's going to be in space, Kevin?
I mean, if it's not like a person, can't you just like stream it, like have a buffer queue of like transport energy that you just sort of?
This seems very wasteful.
It's a lot of energy, dude. It's like really a lot of energy.
The thing is, they live in a post-scarcity society, but you can't make dilithium, which runs like a lot of these machines.
You still have to mine the dilithium.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know about dilithium.
Well, let me tell you about trilithium, baby.
Oh my god! Don't put that in a star.
It's 1 times better than dilithium.
If the Star Trek universe is so great, then how come there's not quad lithium?
Not yet. I bet there is in Star Trek Online.
Give it time. There's no quad lithium.
Not yet.
You just get dilithium.
Thanks for writing in, Phil. I appreciate it. You're a good boy.
Good boys.
Do we have time for another email?
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
We'll do one more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting the thumbs up from the booth. We have time for one more.
Brad says.
Yeah. Hashtag Brad is real.
Hashtag Brad is real.
Our next email.
Where is my Brad?
Our last email of the night.
Where my Brad
is from Brad, who says, "What the fuck are you guys still doing? It's over an hour."
Brad, get off my shit.
Come on, Brad.
I just had to deal with you today. Fuck you,
Fucking Brad.
Piece of shit.
I've
Brad.
met him today and I still don't fucking like him.
He sucks.
It's from Dane, who says,
Dane!
What up, my
cool
Trek
name.
boys?
Trek boys. No one did it.
I wanted you to do it.
No one did it.
I wanted you to do it.
You left me out there to dry.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast.
I'm gonna miss having you on, Kevin.
Just come back all the time.
Dane, aka Mario Chief here. I like that name.
Mario Chief.
I like Mario Chief. I like Mario a lot. So.
A lot of cool name happening right now.
Yeah.
First time, long time of all things Josh and Continue.
Oh yeah.
He's my favorite, but don't tell anyone, not even Jeff. So no one tell me.
We won't tell you.
I'll keep
worry,
this
Jeff.
secret and safe for you guys.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Wait a minute.
It's a Trek quote. It's a Trek quote.
It's from Trek of the Rings.
I gotta pitch it or ditch it for you.
Give it.
Yes.
DS9, the Grand Nagus buys out Quark's bar, making Quark a homeless Ferengi on the station. The Nagus, in his infinite dickery, promotes Rom to run the bar and tells him he can't hire Quark.
I mean, you should just watch the show. You should just watch the show.
The bar actually becomes more profitable than ever before. Quark becomes extremely depressed, and Kira, feeling sorry...
brother.
I have a question, brother.
Moogie.
Feeling sorry for Quark, Kira goes on a date with him, and they fall in love with each other.
No, ditch.
No,
Everyone profits.
Hard pass.
Everyone profits, and things are going great on the station. It turns out the Nagus was a changeling from the Delta Quadrant the whole time.
Oh my god!
And goes on a humanoid killing rampage and takes.
Is this Steve?
This is
Steve?
not Steve.
It's Dane.
Dane and takes.
Are we sure that Steve isn't Dane?
And takes Odo back home and forces Odo to meld with him. Plot twist: Odo dreams in his bucket and he wakes up. Roll credits.
Oh my god, it's a fucking.
This is like a super.
Who shot JR?
This is like a double ditch, Dane. I'm sorry.
It was off the fucking rails, dude.
Yeah, gotta ditch it because there's no Bashir subplot.
Kevin requires many things.
Jesus.
One of them is a Bashir subplot.
Kira
just
and
like-
Quark, huh?
Yeah, it's a problematic ship right there.
That don't make any sense to me.
Shipping Kira and Jeff.
Is there like a Kira and Bashir like go on an adventure together episode?
Maybe. I feel
Not
like
really.
there is, but there's always somebody else there.
They were married in real life.
Yes.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a kid together.
That's cool as shit.
John Larroquette fun fact of the week.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
interesting and adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got divorced.
But I mean, for a while, it was
Everything
probably
dies,
okay.
Kevin.
Yeah. How fucking great is it that Kira's real name is Nana Visitor?
It's the most Star Wars-y Star Trek name. Nana Visitor.
Nana Visitor.
I just feel like we didn't get much Kira and Bashir apart from Bashir's frontier medicine speech in the beginning.
They kind of do a thing when they're together, when Kira gets turned into the hologram of that Russian spy girl.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
that's true.
Yeah, I think they kind of like shy away from the two of them since they are like married. It's like pretty early on.
Oh yeah, you
Why
don't want
did,
people with chemistry interacting on a TV
No, you
show.
sure do not.
Why
You
did,
do not want that.
Why did Siddig El Fadil change his name to Alexander Siddig anyway? Do you think it
Probably
was like racism in Hollywood?
Probably.
Because Siddig El Fadil is like the coolest fucking name.
Or
to me.
it could be like a union thing or something, like a SAG thing.
You think,
SAG
you
is
think
fucking
there was
weird,
another
so.
Siddig El Fadil and he had to change his
I
name?
think there were at least 5 other Siddig Alphadeers.
The thing
It's probably a union thing, actually.
The thing is, his name isn't even Siddig El Fadil. It's Siddig El Tahir El Fadil El Siddig Abderrahman
really long.
Mohammed Ahmed Abdel Karim El Mahdi.
Holy
That's a
shit.
great name.
Which is
That's
fucking
cool as shit.
awesome. But yeah.
My name's Stupid Josh.
Yeah, my name is fucking Jeff Pennington, and his name is that cool shit.
I mean, my
He's like-
my name's all right.
Shut up, Kevin Cole.
He's
Kevin-
right, though. It
Kevin
is all right.
Butthole.
Kevin
Oh,
Got him.
Kevin Bartkus Cole.
is that your name?
That's my middle name. Yeah.
Bartkus?
Bartkus.
Do you know what my dad's middle name is?
Is it Bartkus?
No.
Oh.
It's Ruggles.
Ruggles. I have like the whitest name that's ever existed on the face of the planet Earth.
Jeffrey Montgomery Pennington.
Okay, it's not quite that white, but it's almost. It's Jeffrey
It's almost that.
Michael Pennington.
Michael. My initials are almost my name.
Mine are JMP. Hence
Mine's JSH.
Jish.
Jish.
What's your middle name, Sean?
No,
Is it Sean?
it's not Sean.
It's Sean.
You have to. You have to get. It's not.
It's
not
Samuel.
What
Fuck
do you
you,
think Josh's
fucking-
middle name is?
Sean. Tweet us at what's Josh's middle name. It's not Ruggles.
It's Samuel.
Hey, shut up. Shut up.
That's cool.
Shut up, Jeff. You don't know.
It's not Samuel either.
Oh, brother.
Oh, brother.
It's Rom.
It's wrong. That's his middle name.
Siddig Alphadeer.
His middle name is Zek. Grand nigga Zek. Dane ends his email by saying, "Keep up the great work, boys. Don't kick Josh off the show, please. And I hope Jeff finds a sweet new job soon." Man, I fucking hope not. Being freelance is dope.
I love getting fired.
Thank you.
my
That's
God.
really cool of you.
That was
That's a great
really
email.
I really
Thank
do
you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Yeah, being freelance is dope as fuck though. So,
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
that brings
Get
us
up
to
when
the
I
end
want.
of M class emails. If you, as
Me?
even you, Kevin Cole,
Me?
if you want your email read on the air, you can send it to mclassemail@gmail.com. Singular. mclassemail.
Yes. Yeah, we should have made it better.
Shut the fuck up,
I like it.
Josh.
I think it's good.
Well, I know where it's confusing. It gets confusing now when we do this
Yeah,
show because the show is called M-Class Emails.
It's super confusing. Like, I've done everything wrong. I understand.
No, man, there's no wrong, just right.
I just...
Bud Light.
I miss... I really wanted to just have M-Class Podcast, but somebody already had it.
Some butthole took it and is holding it hostage.
Like, there had to have been
need
somebody who was like, I'm gonna make a Star Trek podcast.
Well, you
Yeah.
have their email address.
He's right.
Why don't you just
Holy
ask
shit.
them?
He's fucking right.
I just send him an email that says, brother.
Let's send him an email as Grand Nagus Zek and just like threaten that the FCA is going to take the email away from him.
I send like an email to whoever holds the Kevin Cole Twitter account. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you using this?
Dude,
fuck
the guy who owns the Jeff Pennington one uses it all the fucking time, and I'm like, just die. Just die.
Holy shit.
I'm kidding. I'm not.
You just send him emails that are like, just die.
Why aren't
dude.
you dead yet?
Fucking die.
No, Jeff, you need him alive. You need him alive so it can be a calm transfer of power.
There's no power vacuum in the email.
Like, I couldn't imagine just being like, hey, I'm a more important Jeff Pennington than you, so can I get that, that Twitter?
that happens a lot, though. You would be surprised how often that
Yo, can I get that
happens.
Twitter? And he's like, well, what do you do? Oh, I'm on a very unpopular Star Trek podcast. He's like, well, I'm an attorney, so...
I don't know, dude. For a very unpopular Star Trek podcast, we got a shit ton of emails.
Yeah, we got...
Yeah, for
like,
real. That wasn't even half of
That
them.
wasn't, actually. I told you we had 20 last time we talked. We had 27.
Jesus F, man.
Sorry to everyone we didn't read this time. Maybe we'll read them next time. But follow us on Twitter at MClassPodcast. Follow
Yes.
Kevin at Real Kevin Cole.
Yeah.
And follow his great video game Haque at
Please.
HAQUERL on Twitter.
You remember.
Nice.
I follow it.
Thanks, man.
I'm a fan of everything you do, Kevin.
I'm a fan
I'm
of
a
everything you do,
fan.
Jeff.
Oh.
I'm a fan
Yay,
of, like,
and Josh is here.
I'm a fan. Everyone's a fan of everything you do, Josh.
Yay!
I'm a fan of like 99% of what Josh does, because he does a million things, and I'm pretty sure I don't even know about all of them.
Yeah, there's some secret ones you don't even know about.
That shit happens in your stream all the time where somebody's like, Josh is on a Star Trek podcast?
Yeah.
Get the word out, bros.
Yeah, maybe if
Tell people.
one of
Oh,
my
yeah.
friends would say it on their million podcasts, it would maybe if one of my friends put it in his video game that he made recently, everybody
Oh,
would
that's
know.
not. That one's not about me. I'm okay. That one's not about me.
Could you imagine beating Hack and then it just says, "Go watch M Class Podcast"?
Oh my god, that would be like ridiculous.
That's the whole ending. Like, you just build up this game this whole time, and that's the ending.
I'm in that video game.
Yeah, you are in that video.
Is
game.
he?
I'm a boy in that game.
Holy shit! I'm
Yeah.
I'm
there's
not
a-
in that
there's a
game.
s- there's a secret Josh mode.
Josh mode. It's just
Everything's just twerking.
you're only allowed to have swords. You can't use any other
Yes.
weapon.
No magic. Get that magic out of here.
Hell yeah.
The riddle of steel.
I would like to thank Kevin Cole for joining us on the Beard
That's-
Collection.
Ew.
That's such a weird coincidence, because I want to thank you guys for having me here.
That's such a weird coincidence because I would like to thank me for being here.
That's a weirder coincidence, because I want to thank everyone who's listening for listening.
Damn. Me too.
Me too. Like,
I love you.
none of you people have to listen to us ramble on for hours at a time about Star Trek, but you do anyway. And it
Yeah.
means the world to me.
Aw.
There's no joke. Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
It means the universe to me, so I'm better.
It means the multiverse to me.
Oh
So,
my God, there we
suck
go.
my multi-dicks, my multi-Klingon dicks.
Suck my 2 Klingon dicks.
It means like a whole bucket to me.
Wow.
Sounds
Lowballing
like-
over here.
Changeling.
It's a big bucket, though.
Do you melt into it at night?
Yeah.
I guess, honestly, if it's
Yeah.
a big bucket, it could be any size. It could be the size of, like, more than the multiverse.
Well, yeah, space goes both ways. Duh.
And so do buckets.
Space goes outward
Buckets are
and inward. with all kinds of
bisexual?
space. Yeah, I mean, probably.
Yeah, Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff. Jeff, there's more than 2 ways.
You've never been to Bucket Prime of the bucket system? There are all kinds of sex going on in that bucket planet.
Buckatellian, the planet.
Buckatellia.
We've gone too far. Thank you, everyone.
Let's go to bed.
Thank you, everyone, for listening, and we'll be back someday with more M-Class podcasts.
Yay!
Bye.
Night, everybody.
Bye-bye.